We're not too sure if that is also part of today's engagement, but you can see them filing through and walking into that meeting. So we'll be giving you live updates as and when we have them, but the IGP in your shot now, Dr. Akufo Dampari, they're walking into that meeting. We're not sure what the essence of the meeting is, but we will definitely keep you updated. This is the Joy News channel, and you saw also the Defense Minister, Dominic Nitu, declining to speak to us after that meeting with the Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee. We're waiting to see what the official briefing will be from this joint meeting that has been sitting throughout the early parts of today to where we are now. We have the Interior Minister as well, also present here in Parliament, and we're waiting to see what the official briefing is. But if you're joining us now and you're watching us on the Joy News channel, I must update you that Parliament is indeed having a meeting with the National Security Minister and also the Defense Minister. What we do know is that following President Akufo-Addo's decision to also deploy that team, the Ghanaian troops to join the ECOWAS force, there's been concern from the ranking of both the Defense and Interior Committee and also the Foreign Affairs Committees. The reason for which we had the National Security Minister, the Defense Minister, Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister also joining the meeting throughout the day. And what we do know so far is that there's been a concern about some of the constitutional requirements. Let's see if Honorable Andy Apiakubi will say a word. Hello, Honorable. Okay, he's not saying it, he's not sharing a word with us, so we'll definitely be getting some updates shortly. I guess the agreement among some of the committee members was that the members must desist from making some media comments. I don't know if that's or the official arrangement and what they have all come to agree on, but you can see live in your shots that the IGP just walking in a few minutes ago to engage the Interior and Defense Committee of Parliament. There are also representatives from the Foreign Affairs Committee there in your shot, as you see on the Joy News channel. Now, we must also indicate at this point, and I see there in my shots the Honorable Samuel Okuchetu Ablakwa. Probably we might get a word from him to see what the fallouts from that meeting has been. But if you're watching the Joy News channel, we need to update you that the decision by the government of Ghana to opt for what it is that the president has decided on for the ECOWAS meeting is subject now to some discussions here in Parliament. We're waiting for the official briefing. At least if the majority side would not comment, as you've seen in the short, probably we'll get to some members of the minority side to say a few words to us. The Inspector General of Police also making an appearance today. We're waiting to see what the outcome of that engagement is. So if you're watching us now and you can see us live on your television, just stay with us here on the Joy News channel. We'll bring you some updates shortly. You see some other security chiefs also around. We're waiting to see what the briefing will be. So there they go in, moving into that briefing. I'm sure that it's all part of the series of engagements that will be happening as far as this whole stabilization force issue is concerned. The concern for some of the MPs, and I must run you through that throughout the morning, has been what the position of the Constitution is. Article 40 of our Constitution talking about the fact that in our dealings with other nations, the government shall, first of all, that's Article 40, the requirements 40A, promote and protect, as the Constitution is directing, the interest of Ghana. The B also talks about seeking the establishment of a just and equitable international economic and social order. Then the C, which is subject to the concern that the MPs on the committee have been raising, has been about promoting respect for international law, treaty and obligation. And here's what we need to point you out to: the fact that there's need for our country to opt for the settlement of international disputes by peaceful means. So that has been the concern of the MPs on the committee today. But the majority side appears to be raising concerns about the need to adhere to the principles enshrined in all as the case may be, the aims of, first of all, the Charter of the United Nations, also the Charter of the Organization of African Unity, the Commonwealth, and there's also the last provision that the Treaty of the Economic Community of West African States. So there you see it, the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, walking out of the meeting. Honorable, you're live on Joy News. How did the meeting go today?
Well, we have decided that we will not disclose the content of the discussions and the outcome of the meeting. So I will just say that it's been a good meeting for now.
From my monitoring, I see that Article 40 has come up. Legal issues and concerns, as of course your other ranking on this other side, the chairperson of the committee has been raising. Is Article 40 of concern to you as well as the minority?
The entire legality of anything that will happen must be of concern to all of us as lawmakers. And at the end of the day, it's about our national interest.
That's anything to go by.
Article 73 and Article 40 is very clear. Yes. Our national interest must be at the center of any decision, our national interest. And don't forget Article 40C encourages peaceful resolutions of matters.
But if you go to D, we are to adhere with whatever decision the sub-regional body ECOWAS.
So as I've told you, the matters are very sensitive and delicate, and that's why.
But I'm talking about law, because that, I heard that come up on the committee. That this is a matter of law. It will come up strongly at you as the matter.
As you do know, consultations are going to continue on this matter. This is a very sensitive matter, and since we have a collective agreement that we will not divulge the details at this point, I think that we should go with that. But as time progresses, I'm sure that we are going to have.
How will you diffuse the legal argument? This is not about what transpired, but we know that.
So
the
thank
legal
you very
issues
much.
Well, so that's the Honourable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa just walking off in your shots there. We're still monitoring that development for you here from Parliament House, where of course we know that for today, and if you're watching the Joining channel, we need to update you that the joint meeting of the Defence and Interior Committee of Parliament and also the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament just had their meeting, and at that meeting we had the National Security Minister, we had the Defense Minister Dominic Nitiu, who you saw in your shots there. He wouldn't comment, he wouldn't speak, because the gentleman's agreement, as we understand from Parliament, is that they will not comment on the sensitive issues, and obviously it borders on the deployment of the military to join that ECOWAS force, which will be deployed by ECOWAS to stabilize the situation in Niger after the presidential guard toppled the democratically elected President Mohamed Bazoum. That meeting lasted for more than an hour today. I must state that the chairpersons of the Defense Committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee were all present. The Honorable Patrick Yalboama there also declining to make any comment on the meeting today, but we're still waiting to see what else will come of this meeting. Just a couple of minutes ago as well, the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, George Akufo-Dampare, also walking into that meeting. We'll be going there briefly just to, and you can just come along with me as we take you back to that place where, of course, that meeting is happening. But you heard from the Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa indicate and point out to you that after today's meeting and the meeting that was held today, the firm decision has been made to tone down on media commentary. But here at Joy News, we have picked up that the main concern for these Joint Committee has been about Article 40 and what the article says about the legality and what the requirements are per our laws. Now, the requirements per the law is that if Article 40 is anything to go by, then it means that the president is helpless in terms of adhering to what the constitutional requirements are. Now, we know that the constitutional requirements will be that we must, of course, opt for whatever decision that ECOWAS has made. There is also the minority position indicating that if you go by Article 40, there is a requirement at C, 40C, which says that Ghana must opt for a resolution of international disputes by a peaceful means. That's what the Article 40 of the Constitution is saying. So that's where the minority stands to say we don't need the deployment of the military force, but the majority also sticking to what 40D points out, the fact that whatever decision the African Union will take, whatever decision the United Nations will take, and the ECOWAS will take, we need to abide by that. And what's been the requirements or decision of the African Union? The African Union a couple of days ago issued a statement backing and affirming their position that they would stand ready, shoulder to shoulder, to support the regional body, the sub-regional body, ECOWAS, in terms of whatever decision that will be made. So if ECOWAS says they're deploying or activating their standby force, the decision is African Union will go with that. And if we're to translate that to what it is that our constitution is talking about, then it indeed means that, of course, we would have to adhere to that. So that's what's been happening here at the Parliament House. And of course, we are the West Wing, where, of course, the decision will be made. We'll be hearing from, members of the committee shortly who would probably speak to the media. The gentleman's agreement is not to make a comment, but we'll still be around giving you the very latest and of updates that you need. Blessed Sugan reporting from Parliament House. We'll keep you updated. This is our special coverage of that meeting between the Defense Minister, the National Security Minister, and also members of the Defense and Foreign Affairs Committee, live from Parliament.